Hello. Say this was a really interesting topic, but reading some of the comments are very interesting. I think there are a few different ways I could go with this. I guess I'll start off with the question you asked. I guess was the best way to deal with victim blaming, and I guess I would just say it's knowledge. Explain why a person may have done or not done what they did. If people have a better understanding, maybe they'll be less likely to blame someone. Um, and so, like I said, I read some of the comments. Something I saw that came up a few times was, I guess, the use of the term victim. That I guess it wasn't. I guess what's considered a victim almost. Something like that. You put it this way: we're all victims or something, and I guess yes, we technically are all victims of something one way or another. It doesn't have to be something horrible to be considered a victim. You know, actually reading the definitions, I saw just a couple of them was a person who suffers from a destructive or injurious accident or agency. As a they say example, a victim of an automobile accident, but also a person who is deceived or cheated. Either by his own emotions or ignorance or by the dishonesty of others. So I just think anyone who is, I guess, lied to or betrayed or something, is a victim. There are different levels. Yes, there's a big difference between someone who was raped or murdered and, maybe someone who was Payless, as in your story, or maybe had their car dinged up in the parking lot. So I guess then I get to why people do it. I didn't do any research into the psychology behind victim blaming, as you did, but I have a few thoughts of my own. Start off with watching your video. You mentioned Toby Turner, and as someone who's not a big YouTube watcher, I had never heard of him before. Um, so out of curiosity, I figured I'd look it up. So I spent a little time reading some stuff on it and watching a couple videos of, I guess, people's opinions who knew him. Uh, and when I hear this, I think of go back to I remember the response to one of your Naked Truths. I think it was on censorship, uh, where he said, I love the idea of the rape shield laws. That the victim's name is protected, uh, therefore they're not afraid to come forward and, I guess, deal with victim blaming. But on the other hand, if if we believe in innocent until proven guilty, shouldn't the alleged suspect, whether it's rape or any crime, shouldn't their names be, you know, hidden from the press? And unfortunately, when you're dealing with the internet, there's only so much control we have over that, and I think that goes in part to the victim blaming. I think people who feel that way might attack this girl for that reason, feeling this is the wrong way to handle it. Um, I also think some of the people who are probably fans of this person, of this, what's it, Toby Turner. It's probably their way of defending him, almost a weird way of white knighting, I guess. I think for some people, in any kind of argument or anything, or just debate, it's easier to attack someone else than to defend your own point of view. And but the problem is with this, something like this, is no one knows what happened other than the two of them. No one has any idea. Uh, while you might have certain feelings about this person, you know, as someone who is a fan of you, a YouTuber, you know, I may have certain beliefs about you, but I don't actually know you. If something came out against you, I might not believe it, but I wouldn't attack the other person because I'm not sure. I don't really know you. And so I think that's another reason people will attack this person. And well, I guess I don't agree with the way that may have been handled, going out, exposing it online. If she was raped, I can understand it, the feelings the person must be going through, and wanting to either just vent and get it off her chest, or even some to some extent want some revenge to hurt him because if she was raped, a horrible act has happened to her. So it's for another reason I think people victim blame is I think they don't understand what other people are going through or the situations they're in. Um, I'm talking about your situation with your job. I guess in theory, it would make sense to say if you're getting paid less for the same work as a man, to either quit or file a complaint against them, or if you can find a way to sue them, yes. But it's not always as easy as that. So I don't have a problem with people asking the question, why didn't you do this? But I feel to call you a liar because you didn't do it is going overboard. And as you said, you didn't call out any specific company, so it wasn't like you did proof. I just felt you were telling a story or sharing an experience. Realizing there could be many situations, you might just be uncomfortable with it, and some people won't understand that. You know, you could quit, but you don't know how easy it'll be to find another job, or even if you're making less money than other people there, wherever you go, you might make less money there. As I said, there's so many reasons, and people who are not in your situation don't understand, and so I think some of them immediately go to, well, it's your fault for not doing this. And one other reason I think that people victim blame is, to an extent, it's almost their own way of attacking themselves. I just read a comment the other day. It was when we don't know who to hate, we hate ourselves. And I think if you reverse that, when we're mad at ourselves, maybe it's easier to take it out on someone else. If this was me a few years ago and I heard this story, I wouldn't have went online and called you a liar or said it to your face, or I don't even know if I would have disbelieved you, but I probably would have been like, well, she should have just quit, at the very least. but I know in my situation, I wouldn't probably. Just knowing where I am now, I'm not where my job is now. I'm not a victim of anything like that, but I'm unhappy with my job. I, you know, I don't want to totally bash it because they have treated me well in a lot of respects. I am, I would say, one of the top three paid employees there, which it's a small business, and it's not really a lot, but uh, I think one of only three people who get a paid vacation there. The only person who gets health insurance. Once my boss just gave me tickets to a Yankee playoff game. So they do treat me well in some respects, but on the other hand, I've been with them for uh, since high school for over 20 years. I I said I make more than most people. I haven't had a raise in it's got well over 5 years. I say I make more than some people, but I see people getting raises who basically we can take delivery. Some people can take deliveries at work, and when they do that, they make extra money. And I see these people getting raises who are taking deliveries, and after the delivery, they at least on the days they make take deliveries, I'm sure they make more per hour than me, and many of them come back high. You can totally smell it on them. Um, Not to mention, I don't even know if it's called overtime, extra time, because I don't call it overtime because I don't get paid for it. I have to work until I'm finished. Not to mention, I said I got a week's vacation, yet that's it. I don't get this, like I said, no overtime, no holidays or paid extra for holidays, no sick days, no personal days. I asked for at least one weekend day off almost a year ago. It still hasn't happened, so I work nights and weekends, which not that I would have had a great social life anyway, kills any chance of that. So there are a lot of things about my job I don't like, but for all my complaining, I'm still there. And part of it is I know if I go somewhere else with my lack of education and skills, I'm almost definitely going to make less money, at least immediately. Uh, Although probably over the long haul, I make more. The other part is, as much as I might not like it, I'm comfortable there and it's easy to stay there. And I guess it's a weakness. I don't know. And I think we all have sort of weaknesses, and other people don't understand them, which was getting to before. But so I could see how someone might blame someone else for not doing something where either they don't understand it or they see it in themselves, so they do kind of understand it, but they don't want almost don't want to see it in themselves, which is why they attack the victim. Like I said, I wouldn't actually do it personally, just in my head, or maybe to someone else. Say, oh well, if they're not happy, why don't they just quit? Like I said, but yeah. So just a few of my thoughts. I That was a very interesting topic this week. And thanks for listening, and goodbye.